Jussie Smollett, did he do it or didn't he do it? Was he attacked or was it all staged? Stay tuned to The Big Picture. Let me say, first of all, welcome back to The Big Picture. And as always, let me invite you to share this, to comment on this video. Listen, when you share and when you comment, you don't have to agree with me. It's not so much that I want you to see things my way, but I want you to actually try to figure out what's going on, to think about what's happening in our world and in our country. Now, let's get to Jussie Smollett. I want to say up front, I have no idea what happened. I'm not the judge and the jury. And thankfully, the way that this country is structured, he's going to have a day if he decides to contest this. He's going to have his day in court, and hopefully with the jury of his peers that will decide this. The way that I see it, being a lawyer, given these facts, it's not likely there's going to be a trial. This case is going to either be resolved by the state dropping the charges because they find out, in fact, that he's telling the truth. Or if it comes to the surface that he's not telling the truth, then there's probably going to be some type of diversion, which means they're going to offer him a way to not be formally charged and not be convicted if he will do certain things like write a letter of apology, perhaps pay some fines. But we do not know. As always, I want to look at the bigger picture. If he made it up, it's very unfortunate and it's very inconvenient and it's very harmful because, of course, there are certain groups in this country who are in denial about the fact that racism still exists, that hate groups are proliferating, and that hate crimes are on the increase. That's actually happening. We have empirical data to establish that. So whenever there is a feigned or a made-up situation, it gives cover and credit to those who want to be in denial. And that, of course, is the tragedy of it all, if in fact he's made it up. If he hasn't made it up, then that speaks for itself. Then that is a hate crime and it needs to be thoroughly investigated. Now, let me come down to my personal thoughts. And I'm not asking you to agree with my personal thoughts or my views. But when I heard the interview that he did, when I listened to and watched, observed the interview that he did with Robin Roberts, Good Morning America, I just had some concerns. I just had some haunting concerns that there might be a slight bit of embellishment going on there. I wanted to know more. There was just something, an alarm bell that went off in my mind. Now, in my business as a criminal defense attorney and as a civil rights attorney, I'm required to cross-examine people and to get to the bottom of the truth, people who don't want to tell the truth. And I look for certain cues. And if I'm being honest, and you don't have to agree with me, you can call me, or you can not call me, but you can send me an email or a text saying, I strongly disagree with you, Mr. Girley. Keep your mouth closed and keep your opinion to yourself. That's fine. But there were cues that would suggest to me that there's some problems with that story. And then, of course, we know what the Chicago Police Department has done. Look, I'm not prepared to go as far as the superintendent of the Chicago Police Department. I think he had his political motivations for doing what he did and saying what he said. That apart, there are issues here. And as a community, we need to be able to say and recognize when there are problems within our own community and not just paint with a broad brush one way or the other. You know, everything that black people do cannot be acceptable, and everything that white people do cannot be wrong. We need to think, and that's what I'm inviting you to do in this particular instance. If we can, I don't know, maybe we will never be able to do it, but if we can we put our emotions to the side and look at what the objective facts are here? What do you think? I think that's the big picture.